Good evening. Today is February the 10th, 2026. Happy New Year, everybody. Listen, we live to see another year. You are at the City of Opa-locka CRA meeting, and we're Mr. Can you call the meeting to order and give us the
Roll call.
roll call?
Board Member Santiago,
Here.
Board Member Kelly, Board Member Bass,
Here.
Board Chair Russell.
Here.
We have a quorum.
If you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and Board Member Bass, if you would give us word of prayer, please. Prayer first, yes.
Okay. Everlasting Father God, as we come before you today, God, with humble hearts, Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you, oh God, for family, friends, fellowship, oh God. We know that without you, we are absolutely nothing. We thank you, oh God, for us being able to serve our community. We thank you for the grace that you have allotted to us. We give you praise, honor, and glory in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Director, do we have any add-ons?
No, ma'am.
Okay, can we get someone to move the approval of the minutes from 12/9?
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Board Member Vice
Second.
Vice Commissioner Kelly, second by Board Member Bass. Roll call, please.
Board Member Bass,
Yes, here.
Board Member Santiago,
Yes.
Board Member Kelly,
Yes.
Board Chair Russell.
Yes. We'll open up for public comments. Seeing none. Public comments are closed. Mr. Director.
Yes, ma'am. Resolution number 1 is a resolution of the Opa-locka Community Redevelopment Agency authorizing the execution of a license agreement with property owners for the creation, operation, and maintenance of community gardens on properties located within the OCRA Community Redevelopment Area and providing for an effective date. I would like to put 3 addresses on the record for which these resolutions would apply to.
2141 Alibaba Avenue, Opa-locka.
2141 Alibaba.
1800 Alibaba Avenue. And the last is a folio number, and that is 082122003205. That is the folio number for the third property.
I have a question.
Wait, just 1 second. Board Member Santiago, are you finished reading?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Board Member Santiago.
Okay, for the 3 addresses that you reading to us. The last one is folio numbers. And what is that? That one is located.
It's also in Alibaba.
It's also in Alibaba. Okay, that's what I wanted. That's what I want to know. In Alibaba.
Yeah, it's a vacant lot, but it doesn't have an address associated with it. It only has a folio number associated with it.
Well, Madam Chair, Russell, my question is, okay, I want to be fair to the whole community, to everybody,
Yes.
east, west, south, and north. And we be concentrating only in the east side area. That's what I see. And, in that triangle, that area there is part of the east side. I hope that we can, see a little bit more of that side, and we including, okay, for the area of the west side or the other side of the south. When I say south, I say the area for 135th, 135th by the bank in the back, all the apartment that we have there, and houses, and also we have houses by 135th between 32nd and Portion Road, something like that. We forgot about that areas out there. Okay, everything that we do is in that side out there. Let's include in this people too, please.
Well, I think, Commissioner Santiago, in order, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Director, we have to stay within the boundaries of the CRA, and the CRA boundaries stop at, it doesn't even go all the way to 135th. It comes around on Opa-locka Boulevard. And anything south of that is not included in the CRA. So,
And who decide that?
oh, this was decided years ago. I'm
By
not-
who?
The person that was sitting here during that time can give that bit of information. Here you go.
Okay.
At the, Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
at the time, the CRA board, which was obviously the commission, decided because when we were doing and trying to create a CRA, we had to look at the most challenged areas. And they call that term, well, years ago, urban and blight, which I never liked. But those were the worst off areas. And so the CRA boundaries was created based on that, because at the time the city had someone to do the legwork consulting, because they had to be presented to the county. And that's how we came up, well, that's how I came up with those boundaries, because the areas that you're referencing, although they may be challenging, at that time, they were still considered in better condition than, of course, Magnolia North and the east side of town. And so that's why that area was chosen. The hope was always to go back at some point, potentially, to include other areas. But as you know, since then, even since you've been back, there's a attack to even stop CRAs, period. And the other thing is, that's why we only got 20 years as opposed to 30 years, like other cities did, because the county did not even want to give us a CRA back at that time frame. So that's how that came about. But I would say, to your concern, the commission has authorized money for improvements and the like, be it business and home improvements. We've done that with the intention of addressing areas that are not in the CRA. And of course, you were part of that. I know you supported it. So that's been our response, because the CRA cannot go past its current boundaries. And so the city passed the legislation to allow for those areas that's not in the CRA to apply for funding, whether it was commercial. There's one pot for commercial, one for residential. But that's how it came about. And right now, I know everybody wants the CRA to come all over the city, but right now, I'm not going to tell you it's not going to happen, because right now we fight for our life to stay alive. And I won't get too deep, but the reality is, with property tax reform out there, we're in, the director can speak to it, but I just try to maintain what we have right now and stay afloat. And maybe at some point, because I think we're doing good work, if it presents itself, I'm quite sure it might come back at some point in future years to maybe expand the boundaries, but all that's still a process. But I think if any business, homeowner in the area that you're referencing, direct them to the city, because that's why you got the social service component there to apply for assistance. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Uh, yes. Okay. I understand all the explanation that you gave it to me that happened, a long time ago, and we had to do it like that because of so many reasons. But I want to make, a point in that. I hope, okay, by the next decision that we take, I don't say probably, the west side, because the west side is a very property area in some ways, okay? But that area out there is be forgot, okay, even by the administration of the city. And I can say we have some apartments there. I don't know if you family with that. I think that they call it the Ingram.
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
I'm fully aware of Ingram Terraces.
Yes.
They've got drainage problems.
Oh my God. Well,
but-
that's a disaster.
But that's a different subject, because
Yeah.
the reality is Ingram Terraces is actually owned by the county.
Oh, well, okay.
So that's
I'm
a different
talking about
discussion.
that area
I
right
know,
there.
it's area,
Okay,
you're right.
we have a lot of families, okay, houses there. They really need some kind of help or whatever, you know, for anybody. Now, counting well, whatever we passed few few months ago about city, you know, doing the same program like the program that the CRA have. Okay, okay, we have it. It's good, and we decide, you know, to bring him back. But now the problem that we have there is to get the fundings, okay, to to help with these people. And I believe it's like $75,000 for each person, something like that. I think, or 25. I don't. I think it's 75. But we don't have that funding. That funding gonna come in from the general fund that we have. Okay, that's one of my things that I be thinking there. Okay, that we want to do something. Okay, to make people believe that we can, but we don't have it. But I leave it like that, Madam Chair. Please, okay, in the future, let's see if we can help all these areas.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, Board Member Santiago. Are you finished? Board Member
Yes,
Kelly?
I was just
No.
responding.
Oh, okay.
I want to move the item.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm ready
okay.
to move.
But I ditto what Board Member Kelly says, that it's nothing that we can do about expanding the boundaries right now. It would be something great if we could, but we dare not touch that right now with the way we are looking in Tallahassee as a CRA. We need to magnify what we're doing even the more to show forth our good efforts, and that we're being good stewards, and that we have enough wherewithal to go past the 20 years. But other than that, Mr. Director, you have anything that you like? Okay. But one question that I have, these 3 areas that we have, we already have people in place that are gonna start, or are we moving towards that?
They're ready to start. We just needed to get this approved by you, and then we'll sign the agreements with the property owners.
Okay, okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. I look forward to those community gardens. I think they're gonna be much needed in the community, the way things are going now in the economy.
Madam Chair?
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. I wanted to know, we say garden, but what kind of garden we're talking about? Vegetable garden.
Vegetable garden.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna get us some greens, beans, taters, and tomatoes.
Peppers and tomatoes.
Okay,
2, a resolution of the.
no,
Board-
no,
Well,
no.
we're moving
Sorry,
forward.
sorry.
Have we moved it?
A second,
But moved it, it was second, roll call.
Board Member Bass,
Yes.
Board Member Kelly,
Yes.
Board Member Santiago,
yes.
Board Chair Russell.
Yes,
Resolution has passed.
thank you. Mr. Director, please, number 2.
A resolution of the Board of the Opa-locka Community Redevelopment Agency amending, approving, and adopting the amendment to the Opa-locka Community Development Agency's General Operating and Tax Increment Fund budget for the fiscal year commencing October 1st, 2025, and ending September 30th, 2026, to reallocate funds from development assistance, park amenities, and police agreement to fund the balance carryover as set forth in Exhibit A, directing the interim executive director to transmit a copy of said amended budget to the state of Florida Oversight Board, providing for an incorporation of recitals, providing for servability, providing for conflict and repeal, providing for scrivener's errors, and providing for an effective date.
Move it.
Moved by Board Member
Second,
Kelly, second by Board Member Santiago.
disgusting.
You don't have anything you say, Mr. Director?
So we passed the budget in the beginning of September, October. When we passed that budget, we brought to you a carryover of $590,000. And when we went to submit that budget to the city, because this also should say transmit to the city and the county, not just the Florida Oversight Board. But we have to submit our budget also to the city and the county once it's passed. When we, and you know me by now, so I'm just gonna put it out there since you asked me to discuss it. When we submitted that budget to the city's budget director informed us that we could possibly have made a mistake in our calculation on our carryover fund. The budget director informed us by his numbers, our carryover was significantly higher than the $590,000 that we had projected. Having said that, and looking at what he showed us, we came back to you in December to amend that budget to include the additional carryover that he indicated we had. And in the interim between October and December, since we thought that we would have this carryover, we put in contracts to buy 2 pieces of property. Not only did we put in contracts to buy 2 pieces of property, but we also put down deposits for those 2 pieces of property.
Madam Chair.
Okay,
Let me, before they continue, okay. You say city, but you don't give it an amount, what did they say, do you have after that? I want to the amount.
Mr. Senior will give you the exact amount by dollars and cents, but the approximate amount was from 590 to $1.4 million.
1 point,
No, we passed a budget with $1,562,015.
that's what the budget was passed in
Yes.
this meeting. Okay.
Yes. So obviously, and so we in the meantime, between October and December, we went out because we thought we had this extra money to purchase not just 1 property, but 2 properties. We went out and we put deposits on those properties at a significant amount of money. And so when we passed the budget in December, again, we did the same thing we do, which is we submitted to the city in order for us to be get approved at the city, and then we're supposed to submit it to the county. When we submitted it to the city this time a different pair of eyes looked at it, and that was the eyes of our CFO, Miss Naima Gant. And Ms. Gant informed us that the number was incorrect that we were given by the budget director. And that by her calculation, which we trust because her number came in closer to the number that we had originally. And her number was
$652,750.
so we had 590 originally. She came in at 650. And so now we need to pass a budget to reflect the true number, which is the 600 or what was it?
The true number is $652,750.
652,000. So in that case, we had to now go back to the budget and cut line items that added up to almost 900,000. What?
$909,265.
$909,265. And those cuts came from, we eliminated the line item for development assistance. That line item was $600,000. We eliminated the police agreement to help with police programming. That was at $150,000. And we eliminated the parks assistance that we were going to give the city in an amount of $250,000. That allowed us to close the gap and pass a balanced budget, which is before you right now.
Madam Chair, a quick question.
Board Member Bass.
Thank you for explaining all of that, but I have a question. In regards to the properties that we made down payments on, are we losing that money?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
We luckily we were able to cut where I just explained, and also preserve the building acquisition line item so that we can complete the purchase of those 2 properties.
So we're gonna be able to acquire them?
We will be able to acquire them.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Board Member Kelly.
Thank you for explaining. I did meet with you because, you know, I had a lot of questions which you answered. I think going forward, and I don't know, maybe this is not the right forum because I think we need to pass this, given where we are. And fortunately, that second set of eyes caught it before we got too far down the road, and it would have been even more challenging. And again, obviously the eyes, what you're saying eyes, the previous person that looked at the budget was the budget, whatever his title was, budget director, I think that's just called his title, who no longer now is looking at, it was Ms. Gant, who's the finance director, who gave us the number that was closer to what you projected. Okay. And so the question, same one that Commissioner Boardman Bass raised, we're safe on the deposits we made. I don't like the fact we had to do the cuts that we had to do, but I do understand not losing um, the money or whatever, and was still able to acquire the properties. I think some of the money you cut, the police was actually, we hadn't really put it in place yet. So that's not really a deficit. Obviously, the park, I explained to you, I didn't like hearing that, but I understand where we are. I would just suggest to the chair, to the board members, after we finish this, when we pass this and we're on track, that we've got to have possibly more than one set of eyes. And I know ultimately the city is the first eyes other than ours. And again, we're kind of rely on that. But maybe if you all could think about and come back to us at some point with some kind of suggestion, um, because we're relying on them. And although Ms. Gant caught it, if she hadn't caught it and we're 2 years down the road thinking we got $5 and we're making decisions based on it, we don't, it's even worse. And I'm only saying that because right now, as the chair mentioned earlier, all the CRAs are under scrutiny for everything. So I want to make sure that that does not become an issue later on. I appreciate trying to find the cuts. I know it's tough, but at least we need to move forward. But I would hope, Madam Chair, that we can direct the director to come back with some kind of, I don't say plan, model, so that we don't have that kind of challenge where we just listen to one number and then it comes back totally different. With no, because again, well, the city does, but we don't control the folks who actually look at it in the city side. That's another discussion, but yeah, that's kind of what my heartburn is, but that's not for this board. Uh, that's not for this board, but I'll deal with that in another setting. But I do thank you for doing what you did and your staff to cut it. I don't like having to do it, but I understand why we're doing it. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir. Board
Yeah.
Member Santiago.
thank you, yeah, because I'm the person that started this, okay. Why did I be clear? Because whoever gonna look, bad in front of the public is the board. 100%. And people that are gonna come to us, and asking questions. Um, Second, yeah, I'm okay, right? We don't lose the deposit that we have for the two property. That is okay, it's fine. And I don't mean that I'm happy or I'm okay, though we had to stop the other program because that's affecting, okay, for in many ways, the program that we have to keep on going forward to this, for the future of the city. And then I know that this is not a problem for the CRA board, but we have to be a little more careful because we're talking about a bit a mistake that is not for a couple of dollars. We're talking about almost almost $1 million, the difference. And this is something that is not acceptable. And like my colleague board currently say, this is nothing to do with CRA. Okay, but I think that in the future we have to be more carefully when you bring into us this type of budget, presenting it to us to be approved. I don't want to look embarrassing in front of the public. I want to do the right thing. And we keep on talking another day about, where is the problem come from? Thank you.
Thank you, board members. And in my meeting with the director, I expressed to him as well that, especially, the police department and the parks, we really wanted to see those projects go forth this year. I understand that you had to cut somewhere, and it was my suggestion as well, Board Member Kelly, that maybe we need to look at, an external, someone for the CRA. That also, after you all look at the budget and put your numbers together, that you have someone that's looking on our behalf. We appreciate the city for finding the mistake before it got to Tallahassee, or to the county, because that would have been even more of a stickler. But I think the work that you all did in finding the mistake was great. But we need to, I don't know whether we want to bring back something. I don't know what you all have been thinking about doing, or if you have anything on the table. If not, you could tell us at a later date, but we really need to look at something. And thank you to Ms. Walker, Ms. Gant, for finding a mistake before, it got to the state or to the county.
Yes, ma'am. And on that note, I do have a meeting set up with a CRA budget expert for Friday at 11:30, which is, it's just an initial conversation just to see where we are, and I'll inform you about that meeting after it takes place.
Do we have our own accounting system within the CRA outside of the city?
No, ma'am. The city controls everything.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Is it, this is just a follow-up. Is it because we don't have the technology to do it ourselves?
No, listen, we tried to, it wasn't easy, and I'll be honest with you, we kind of gave up. We went to a bank, we tried to open up the bank account, we tried to do all those things, but the CRA, like, one small thing, EIN, is that the FEIN number? Like, we don't even have that. Our FEIN number, that's what it's called, is associated with the city. It's not a separate corporation. CRA is not a separate entity on its own. If you go on Sunbiz, for example, and you look up Opa-locka CRA, there's nothing there. We're part of the city. So we would have to create a corporation, I believe, get a EIN number, in order to open up a bank account, number one. That would be kind of the first step that you all would allow me to do. Again, as I said from the beginning, I'd like the fact that we have the city as a guard with our finances. I think it's an appropriate, most CRAs, their money sits with the city. All the CRAs that I work with currently, all of their accounts are with the cities. I think that's the safest way, especially if I'm no longer here or you're no longer here, that we can control, this millions of dollars that we have. I have trust in the city, despite this, to manage our funds appropriately. But I don't know, after we're gone, can we do it here? Sure, we can do it. I just like that extra level of protection, having the city in control of the funds. That's my opinion. This board can choose how they want to move forward.
Well, a follow-up to that, Mr. Director, is I'm not talking about moving the level of eyes that the city has, but I'm thinking along the lines that if you had it doesn't have to be an elaborate accounting system in-house, then you would have, you'll be able to say to the city, well, this is what we have, and you have something that you can show them, and you could together go over it. And that's all I'm talking about. If we had something in-house, a small accounting type of system that we work, I don't know whether you have the staffing for that. So, that would be something. Yes, sir.
I can speak to that to a degree. Being that it is the city's accounting system, we have access to their system, and we have access to a limited amount of reports within their system.
Okay.
And that is what I used to come up with the initial figure of about $100,000 in carryover. So I've gone to Miss Gant and requested if there's anything else that they may have available to help us stay to a closer dollar amount. And she informed me that they have given us access to everything that they are allowed to.
Okay, okay, okay.
But even with that being said, after all of these rounds of back and forth, I'm pretty confident in what we had initially. If my number was less than $100,000 off from what it actually was.
Yes. Well, I agree with you, but I just think sometime that you all having access, and I understand because it's the city, there's certain things that you just can't have
Yes, they have to have.
access to because you're not an employee of the city. So I understand that. But also, Mr. Director, I would like for us to at least look into and give us a level of comfort that, we understand that the city is doing a great job and that they're the ones that caught the mistake. But at the end of the day, it's going to be on you and us if the mistake was not caught. It will be on the CRA. So we need to look at that to make sure that, we're keeping as firm as we can, a firm account on what's going on with the dollars and as close to getting the correct numbers as we can. So,
Chairman, I'm sorry.
yes, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I agree with the conversations about, but we have to still be reminded that the error was not on CRA. The initial, am I correct?
Yeah, that's true.
It was not on us.
No, it wasn't.
Right. It was something that they caught, they did.
Yeah.
So
But-
it wasn't on
But
CRA.
whatever happened, it's like Chair Russell say, it's gonna be
It's
in
gonna be-
us.
Yes.
Okay, that's a CRA. And I understand. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna wait for you told me to talk.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying, that we understand that the city caught the mistake, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be left on the director and the CRA that the mistake was made. But, not to belabor it and, we don't want to draw it out, but just Mr. Director, as Board Member Kelly said, if you could find a way to make sure that there are other eyes watching, and then, so we don't have at least that large of a mistake again.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes.
My point in this conversation is Miss Russell or Chair Russell, she tried to tell you, like the director of CRA that you are, we don't have anybody with the capacity to deal with this amount of money in CRA. They don't asking you to be independent right now because you explaining why, the reason why we like that and why we had to keep in, the same way for now. But at least you're supposed to have somebody there to supervise, okay, the transactions and all the things that we have when the finance in the city. Because let me tell you this, I'm going to be loud and clear. This has nothing to do with the CRA board. But the city have a lot of mistakes in the past, many mistakes, and I really don't want to see or be in the middle of one of these big mistakes. I believe that any of the people that's sitting here, we don't have the capacity for be an accounting, okay, and we don't have that kind of experience. I understand what you say, that you like to see somebody in CRA in-house to helping us
Yes.
with the finance
Yes.
movie that we have.
Board Member
Yeah, that's it.
Santiago, I think, Mr. Jerome
Mr. Yuram,
initially gave us some numbers and some figures,
Mhm.
and his figures were close to being right. But when it got to the city, they said, no, you have more. So Mr. Jerome was able to give us a good number, but
yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
so
And
if-
we believe him.
Yeah, so I want the director, if you think that what we have in place is well enough with Mr. Jerome, your office, your staff, looking at it and it's good, then going to the city, it's all right. But I just don't want us to be held accountable, because at the end of the day, it's going to be the CRA, because we have our own independent audit. CRA gets their own independent audit now, aside from the city, and they come to us because they want answers from us. Okay, so that's just my whole point in the situation. So we could move on now that we have. Can you tell me what our dollar amount is in the budget? Where are we at?
That's a good one. I like it.
The current dollar amount in the carryover line,
Yes.
we currently have $652,750.
And that's what we're working with going into next year's budget until we get the TIF from this next TIF that we're gonna get.
Yeah, we probably should already have it by now, but yes.
Okay.
Six.
You know, I have a dawning question in my mind. The bank account that we have, do we still have that same bank account that we opened years ago?
I'm not, I don't want to answer that question because I don't know if it's changed, but we do have a separate bank account from the city.
From the city.
Well,
Okay.
the city has a separate bank account for us. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
Our money is segregated in the CRA banking account.
Okay. Is it possible that we could have, doesn't have to be monthly, quarterly reports of the bank account in our packages so that we could follow along as well?
Yes. I did that my first meeting here. And I was asked by more than one board member not to do that anymore. But what we can do is have briefings. And I can give it to you then.
Okay, that'd be.
There was a concern that if we put it as part of this package every month, then, I don't know, there was a concern.
Well,
So we can do it in briefings.
we can do it in briefings, if that's the will of the board, Okay, and if you feel that's the best way to put it, I see board member Kelly over here.
Yeah.
'Cause he was
I'll speak. I was one of those because, you put those numbers out there, but I think it's free money and it puts us in a tough spot too.
Okay.
That's why I was one of those. I'm like,
It probably haven't been reconciled where the city have taken the money out.
we could also have already talked about how we want to maybe do something, but somebody gets a hold to it, they just see a number. And they figure that's just free money, easy money they can access. As opposed to like the director saying, we have a briefing. You can get all the information, get the numbers, get whatever you want, but
Okay.
now we know where it's at.
Okay.
We know where it's at, but
Okay.
yeah, that's what.
It sounds good to me. And whatever works for us as a board and for staff, that you all are very comfortable that when you come to the board, because we might not have people sitting out here in the audience, but we do have people that are watching on social media. So they're listening as well. And so we want to make sure that we're giving the correct numbers, so we're not looked upon as not being good stewards over the residents' money.
Madam Chair, I have one
Yes.
question.
Yes.
How much is the tip?
The city TIF is $1,774,382. The county TIF is $1,064,152. I'm sorry.
Thank you. So, I'm sorry, cumulatively, this is gonna be our budget going,
plus the 650 carryover.
okay, and what's the total?
That, along with estimated $130,000 in interest earnings, we are looking at $3,691,284.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Nothing. I'm just ready to vote.
Okay. Let's call.
Half of that, by the way, is going to purchase property, so.
I'm glad you said that because otherwise it's like we got $3 million sitting somewhere and we don't. So I was glad you at least said that.
Half of that will be gone. I just got a note that half of that will be gone on March 3rd.
Thank you.
When
Because
we
the chair
close.
just said people are watching and
When
they'll be
we
calling
close.
all of us. And Commissioner Santiago saying, y'all got $3 million. I want this done and that done. And we don't have that free money. I'm easy money to do something. It's already been allocated. Madam Chair, you call for the vote.
Board Member Kelly,
Yes.
Board Member Santiago,
Yes.
Board Member Bass,
Yes.
Board Chair Russell. Resolution has passed.
So the next item is just some discussion items. Number one, we had two items on this agenda that I took off at the last minute because I thought it needed further explanation and further briefings from you. One was and I don't want to get into a discussion about it, but we will set up briefings for you throughout the next month to talk about a home ownership program that we want to unveil. That's number one. Number two, there was a item on here for demolition of the building across the street, the pink building across the street that we purchased. We have demolition quotes from 3 different vendors. As I told some of you in our briefings, I'm not comfortable with recommending any of those quotes yet because they are apples and oranges and pears. That they don't relate to each other, and they're all over the place. So until I get comfortable with seeking other advice from people that know better than I what to look at with these quotes, I'm going to hold off on bringing that to you. In the meantime, we are getting people to come out there and clean up the property and clean out the property while we do this. But those are two items that we have resolutions for, and at the last minute, I decided to pull them because I wasn't comfortable bringing that for you without proper information. The other item is just on the downtown development front on the 2 properties that we have purchased, the pink property and the church. I could tell you that we've been meeting with the interested developer who wants to come in and give an unsolicited proposal to develop those sites. We are expecting the city's first P3 proposal to come this week from those developers. The planning department will look at the proposal and make a recommendation whether we should move forward. And then we'll present that proposal to you within 45 days so that you can make a recommendation on whether we should move forward or not. But just so you know that this is moving, we expect to see some type of proposal by the end of the week for those 2 properties. The other item is the triangle development. That's the next map. If you go past on page 27 of your package, or 28, you'll see a map of the triangle area.
What page is that?
I'm sorry, page 22.
Okay. All right. Going on the T5 study.
Page 22.
Yes, sir.
These are properties that we're looking to assemble in the triangle area. The blue properties are the county properties. The yellow properties are the properties that we're going to close on March 3rd. The red properties are private properties, and the black properties and the green properties are owned by the city of Opa-locka. We're in the middle of getting rendering done on what we could do there as far as the development is concerned. We should have something to you by the next meeting of what that could look like. And then the other discussion item is the New Generations Historic Bank Building. You'll see they haven't given us a hard number yet on what the construction, because you all asked us to go back and see what we can do less than the 2 million quote that we got for windows, doors, roof. As you can see, the architect came back that just for their fees alone, we're looking at between 120 and $200,000 for that work, just for their fees. They have not gotten back to me with the hard numbers, but this is just the start, just for the pre-construction costs. We're looking at 120 to 200. So I'm guessing that it'll probably be 500,000 to 600,000 for that bank building. That's just for your information. And the last item I'd like to remove, at the request of two board members, they would like for us to discuss this with the city and the county and not bring it up in a public meeting just yet.
Okay.
And
And
that's
so we're talking about what the
the water bill.
The water bill, okay. Okay, the weekend, before we ending,
Yes, sir.
I'm giving some kind of advice to our director for CRA.
Yes.
And then, and this is the way, it's not me the way that you think, the other member, but that's my way to think.
Yes, sir.
And we're talking about that bank, Mr. Jason. The item for the bank.
Yes, sir.
I think that we having a conversation before, and I give you my opinion, and I want to make him, public for the data.
Yes, sir.
What kind of benefits the CRA gonna have with that? And I believe that you say that we don't have anything because that's a private owner, and he don't even want to, tell us, like how can we using that, or if it's gonna be part of the city for anything. What I see is he want to, yes, repair and get the money for the CRA, like historical building it is. But that's it. It's nothing else that we can, do with that building. And he's the one owner. We not gonna own anything there in that building. We can use, that funding for something else because that's a private owner. At least that he want to sell the building to us. I'm okay with that. That's my opinion.
Okay.
Okay, about to help. We have to be sure who we help in this kind of condition and how that we're gonna use our funding.
Okay.
I hear you, Board Member Santiago, and I think that we as a board, we are careful as to how we want to spend the CRA money, and it's not a real community benefit. So I know that in our last meeting, that was brought to the attention of the director, and I think he's aware of it. So, and as he said, there's not anything concrete that they brought back to us. So, we have to kind of wait and see what happens, but he has that in his mind from the previous board meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You have something? Are you finished?
I'm finished. That's I want to be sure that we do the right thing without fundings.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
sir.
it.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, I think I recall something about the residents and the city being able to utilize the space for certain things. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
But okay, but it's not totally laid out what it would be.
No.
Because it's a church.
But I wanted to.
You don't have to.
That's
don't-
okay.
don't
I'm
worry
good.
about
I'm
it.
good.
We-
Okay.
We don't have anything concrete yet, so we will wait until they give you something concrete, and then we could further discuss it if it's necessary, or in your briefings with us, we could discuss it then before it's brought to the full board. Okay. All right. Anything else? I see some good work going around in the community, Mr. Director. I see the CRA is doing some good work. I see they're still working on the liquor store. I think I saw the parking lot being paved. The food trucks look like they're doing good. Out there, it's a good, look like they've been getting good participation on Sunday. I saw it was pretty crowded, and I like the fact that they're cleaning up after themselves. They're cleaning up after themselves. When they leave the next morning, you don't see garbage all over the place. So for me, that's a plus. That's a plus. So that's all I have. Anyone have anything for the board?
Yeah, question, what is the day they have to parking out there? On Friday and Saturday?
Yeah, I thought it was Friday and Saturday. Are you sure it was Sunday? You mean
Well,
Sunday? You meant Sunday after Saturday?
Yeah, and I come in because you're asking about that date. The other date I have a couple of calls for the neighborhood, and and well, what I say is, hey, you have to go to the city and asking the city, what's going on, because I don't have anything with me. But I believe from the beginning we said that they're gonna be there Friday and Saturday night. Okay, and I go there to eat sometimes, a very good place to eat, but we had to be corrected with them. So okay, the day is parking there because the people complain about it.
Okay, we'll check.
They operating last Thursday. They starting Thursday.
It's supposed to be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Oh, that's what I asked him. It meant that's 3 days.
Yeah, Thursday, Friday,
If
Saturday.
that's 3 days, nothing we can do. They okay.
Yeah.
Thursday,
Sunday,
Friday,
no.
and Saturday. Okay, not a problem.
Weekly.
Weekly, yes. Okay, if there's nothing else for the director, Mr. Director, is anything for us?
Other than the tire shop behind Bosco got his check, by the way, so he's gonna get his garage door. The tire place, the cafeteria behind it, we finally got their paint quotes in, so we're processing that. That should get painted soon. Mrs. Lee, the pink building across the street here, there's some permitting issues with the owner living in Jamaica, but we're trying to get through that quickly. I know it's been a long time, but that should be done pretty soon as well. And there are a couple other grants that we're working on to give out, but we're trying to just get the money out, get these storefronts fixed, and that's it.
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
Russell, and I want the director of CRA and even the city co-enforcement. They know if we're spending money to beautify that area out there,
Yes.
I don't want to see that mess. The mess that's going on in the corner of the tire place.
I told you.
It's too much.
The
We
tire
helping them
shop,
to paint in the place. It looks very nice, but we have there a big mess around that building.
the one by the.
Yeah, the
one
tire
by
place. The tire place.
The one by the railroad track.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that place.
It was looking really nice for.
Looking very nice the first day, painting clean. But now, no, we had to follow, that they keeping the place clean because the liquor store is nice. Hey, beautiful, the laundry, the plaza for the laundry.
Oh, the laundry.
Beautiful. Wow. I never seen in my life in the 25 years that I'm here, that place looks so good, my friend. Okay? And that's the way that we have to keep it. You see the hot order.
That was $100,000 grant, just so you
Yeah.
know.
Good. Beautiful.
That
That's
was beautiful.
beautiful.
And I love the sign.
The sign. I love
I
the
love
sign
the
too.
sign that they have
That's a
there.
professional sign.
One thing he said, I stopped by the other day and they said that they needed the tree. There's a tree there and they needed the tree cut because it is over
covered in
the
the sign.
sign.
So
But the sign is nice and
Beautiful.
the planning is nice. It's really nice.
the business owner from my city laundry did reach out to me and he requested permission to cut that tree. I have worked with the city manager's office and we have gotten that permission. So we're going to work on cutting that tree back now.
And just one more thing, I know it doesn't look like it, but the barber shop across the street, we put a new paint job on there. We're waiting for a sign to put on there, but we put a paint job on the
Right.
barber shop right at the corner.
Oh,
But also beyond the paint that we put on the building, if you have a chance, one of these days you should walk inside. We gave them a $30,000 grant to redo the inside of the barbershop. So if you go inside of that barbershop, it's a brand new barbershop.
Wow. I
So
gotta
if
that's
stop.
good.
If you want to go look inside, it's a new barbershop.
Yeah, I gotta go stop by. But
They were going to have a grand opening and invite everybody. So
everybody's been talking about the laundromat. What's going on in Opa-locka? Y'all got a nice laundromat.
That's a nice laundry.
It's lit up. The lighting is really good. That makes a big difference rather than people parking their cars there, staying overnight and doing all kind of things there in the parking lot. So great job, CRA. Great job,
And
staff.
that's the
Great
same
job.
way that we want to see the tire place.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Mr. Attorney, thank you for being here.
Great to be here. Happy New Year to everybody. More lights for everybody.
Meeting adjourned.
Yes.